Let's talk about this Riggleman interview on 60 Minutes. There's a lot to what was said. I want to go through kind of what we learned from the interview. The link is down below in the description to the 60 Minutes interview. If you haven't seen it yet, if you want to watch that, do that by clicking the link down in the description. And also, if you're watching on Facebook, be sure to like the page. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and also check out the link to our Patreon. I want to say a special thanks to Mike, who is contributing $30 a month over on Patreon. He's our first Patreon member. Mike, thank you so much. When I say us, it's just me. It's just a one-man channel, but I like to refer to Reflect as us because it's all of us, those viewers and myself behind the videos. So back to the Riggleman interview. We learned that Riggleman was a former House member, a former Republican, and a former member of the Freedom Caucus, which really kind of blew my mind because MAGA has taken over the extremist part of the Republican Party. That's just where we are. And so for any Republican now to say, oh, this Riggleman is part of the deep state, no. Just a few years ago, you would have been cheering on Riggleman, who actually voted with Trump 92% of the time. So anybody who's telling you that Riggleman is part of the whole Democratic cabal doesn't know what they're talking about. Now, we also learned the name of Bianca Garcia in this interview. She was the White House's go-between to the protesters. She was at a meeting with the Proud Boys the night before January 6th, and there are a number of text messages between her and Mark Meadows in the White House. We learned that Donald Trump Jr. was talking about alternate electors on November 5th and 6th, meaning he had already been preparing for his father to lose and what they would do if that ever came to be, which obviously the day after the election, Donald Trump Jr. is already talking about the fake electors. One of the best lines from the interview was when Riggleman said, let's get the children out who are huffing glue and let's get the adults in to solve the problems that we have. Riggleman is awesome. He says that he is no longer part of the Republican Party. He says he's unaffiliated and now he's just working to help his wife's distillery, which sounds amazing. He actually has a book called The Breach, which is set to be released just in a couple days. So I've put the affiliate link to Amazon down below. So if you buy it through that link, you'll actually help support the channel too. This was a fascinating interview. We learned a lot from it, and it's also just more trouble for Donald Trump.